So Roblox's avatars have always been a huge and fascinating aspect of the platform, and with a massive selection of catalog items nowadays, you are able to make basically whatever you want. But it wasn't always like that. At some point in the past there was a huge shift if it comes to avatar customization. So what exactly happened then? Well, at first you weren't even able to change your Roblox avatar. That was only possible after March 7, 2007, when avatar customization was added. But it only consisted of t-shirts and body preset colors. So back then everyone looked like a normal classic noob. Then the first accessory was released 2 months later, and following that almost a year later, shirts and pants were finally added. And all of that sparked up the first avatar style that I will be talking about, the classic style. You see, back then Roblox was a relatively new platform with only few options to customize your avatar. And would you believe that you didn't actually have to spend any money to buy accessories back then? There was also another currency on the platform called tickets, or ticks. And you would get 10 tickets as a daily login bonus and 1 ticket per person visiting your game. And you were also able to exchange 10 tickets for 1 Robux, which later was changed before the tickets removal. And at first there wasn't really a strict trend or style, people were mostly buying cheap hats and clothes that just looked cool. But that changed after more and more accessories and clothes were getting added. People started making the first hat combos. Like for example the koala hat with a shaggy, which was a really popular one. But you can also imagine that this was the start of other official styles. Like the casual style, which was also called the daily, the cool style, which could range from cool casual to just cool I guess, or a different style that I called the role-playing style. Since it didn't really have a name, it was basically like a role-playing costume, where for example a person would wear a cop outfit. And you would also see different characters from pop culture like Spider-Man, Star Wars avatars and so on. And now with the release of all the classic series that everybody knows, like Valkyria's crowns, buckets, fedoras, pumpkins, BC hat and so on, people started making outfits themed around them. And there would probably be a subcategory for it, but I don't really have an official name, and most of the time it will still be the either casual or the cool category. Now on the other side we also have the iconic guests that are to this day considered an avatar style. But now moving on to the era of 2009 to 2014. We had many releases like the TBC and OBC that added more exclusive customization options, and that was because of the accessories that you could only get from there. And this would still be in the classic style. Hair was finally introduced in 2009. And also in the same year we had an addition of gears. And aside from the visual aspect, they could also do different things in game like play annoying sounds. Or just look cool, I guess. Anyways, basically just like nowadays, people wore them to fit their avatar, and they range from swords to different weapons to skateboards. But now another huge thing was the release of the Roblox 10 2.0 package, which marked the beginning of packages being used in different avatar styles. And it was highly associated with the term Oder, but I will get more into that later. But speaking of those styles, at that time more of the official ones were forming on the platform, and it was styles like skater, different shifts of the cool and casual, gamer, emo and rich. And most of them were associated with clothing like for example the monster shields, muscle shields, fire clothing, ninja outfits and even the epic face, or just overall different stuff that made it to the pop culture. And of course the rich style having the golden man suit trend, where for reference this was my avatar in like 2011 and 2012, which you can see a lot of similarities from what I just said. But continuing, few of the shifts from the cool style for example were the dope and swag, where the swag term refers to stylish confidence. And the phrase girls of my swag was also one of the trends on the platform at that time. And all of this persisted until 2014, with again constant changes to already existing styles. So what exactly has happened in 2014? This is the year where, in my opinion, things slowly started going downhill. Firstly, we had the release of Bacon Heads as the new default character, which highly changed the previously mentioned noob style. Since now, because of Bacon Heads were considered noobs, the old Roblox noob had to take a new identity of the classic Roblox noob instead. And that's not the only bad thing that the Bacon avatars have done. You see, this was the edgy era of the internet. Content like trolling at Roblox Cafe or trolling at Roblox Hotel has kind of started to build another style on the platform which used Bacon avatars or just the man package, which was also added in 2012, but not many people cared about it, and it also had a really bad reputation on release. But anyways, the hideous style that I want to bring up is the troll avatars. Referring to what I just said, if people saw a bacon hair or someone using the man package, they would either think that this person is a noob or a troll. Same with if they were wearing a really ugly hat alongside of it. It would just stand out so much from the other Roblox avatars that people thought it wasn't the right fit for the platform, and it also brought more toxicity to the community. Something similar that we had with a different incident, but that's for a later part. Overall, people just hated it. But not to stray too far away from the topic, the styles that I talked about in the last section still existed with few changes. But there were also newer ones, like the nice guy or a nice girl, the aesthetic style and the nerdy style as well. And a lot of new ugly trends were also happening, like for example, Ice and Fire Galaxy Adidas shirts, which was also a pretty huge one back then, and even still is to this day. There was also a lot of memes like the Doge MLG code and so on, but I don't think I'm going to get too much into it. And now if you played Roblox after 2014, you definitely saw one of these. Now this is more or less the cool style, combined with the Frostguard general package. In other words, this was the Frost arm or leg style. And this was the OG core blocks, except you didn't have to pay like $200 for it. But now I said that I will be talking about something. I previously mentioned the term ODER, which stands for Online Dater. It unofficially became a style because of the nature of the players that were wearing outfits like this one. Most of the cool casual and Frost arm styles were put into this category as well, and if you are a player chilling and enjoying a hangout game with your friends, there would always, and I mean always, be this one person who would come up to you, call you an oder and just leave. You would just get hit in the crossfire because it was popularized due to all of the edgy content, and of course Roblox's age demographic. But now, another big change that completely shifted Roblox's avatars was the release of R15, where now the characters had 15 body parts instead of 6. And again after that, all of the existing styles started to change a little since we had new character animations, some of the odd clothes didn't work properly on new avatars, and also older trends like the classic swag or skater started to slowly die out, because the platform was well modernizing. And moreover, ticks were also removed, which now caused an influx of noob avatars and a new basic style, where people who didn't have any Robux had to either stick to free items that Roblox provided, which weren't that great, or they had to stick with the default noob avatar. And this one was called basic because of the basic default avatar and not the basic clothing style. And now with the platform moving forward, more new trends were also appearing. People would also use the scaly, pirate or the zombie packages like they previously did with the Frostguard, with the scaly leg becoming the scaly girl style and marking the beginning of something hideous, which later became the most hated and obnoxious style on Roblox. So the scaly girl. This was an avatar style with the 3.0 woman package with usually black clothing and accessories, and the name refers to the skeleton package parts being used in that style. And it was also more on the edgy side since a lot of people were also wearing bandages and, let's just say, ketchup splatters on it. And there also was the scaly guy later, which was the male counterpart. So this one seems kind of familiar, right? Well, I'm going to get into that in a bit. Now, right next to the scaly girl, we also had the thick legs trend, which was very often used in a lot of avatars, and it was put into a separate category because of it. And like, I just have a question. What has to go through a head of a 12-year-old child and be like, I guess I'm going to put thick legs on my blocky Lego avatar? Like, was there anyone that thought that it actually looked cool? Since I never really understood it. But now, on the other note, do you know what went really well with the Frost Arm avatars? The salad hair. And yep, that was a trend too. And the name comes from the holiday crown accessory, which just resembles a salad. Not only it was its own thing, but people also matched it with different styles too. And I even have this old screenshot from 2017 where I was robbing the jewelry store in Jailbreak, and as you can see, everybody was wearing the salad hair. But anyways, something interesting was also happening to the classic style too. It was being combined with more mainstream styles, where Roblox players were using items like antlers, valkyries and buckets to make new wave of the cool style, which for some reason also adapted from the rich style, but I guess it was cool to be rich at that time. And in the new wave, Hyper Beast was also a very popular trend. I remember a few of my friends had it at that time, and personally I wasn't really a fan of it. And you know what else I wasn't a fan of? You not being subscribed to the channel. I'm trying to reach 20,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and your guys' support has been really great. So I'm counting on you. But back to the video. Overall, the previously mentioned salad hair was a part of the daily style, which now some users call it the Daily Plus. And the trends on the platform shifted from the monster clothing to more prestigious brands like Supreme. Like literally, I just remember every player having like a free Robux Supreme shirt in Roblox. You would just go to the catalog and it was all Supreme. So yeah. A lot of people wore accessories like paper hat, the pirate cap, bear face mask and spikes of victory. And additionally, you had different ones that were also kind of annoying. Like these wings. which not only had sparkling particles, but they also made your whole character 3 times bigger and made it impossible to see what was going on for other users, especially in first-person games. But for other big accessories that were also a trend, we had the fiery horns, which most of the time were a part of the rich or emo style. But there also was another hat that was forever ruined by one YouTuber, whose name I'm not going to say, but the accessory was the big head. This one was more on the casual meme or the fun styles. And at that time the community also had a problem with one particular type of Roblox players, which were the Bloxburg moms. And it was because they were usually cringy and annoying, or at least people saw it as so. And the phrase Bloxburg mom became a term to describe the style of avatars, since it was again popularized. But this time it's kind of understandable, since it was a very popular style. But now going to the year with the worst Roblox avatar update, the 2018. If there is one thing that I wish to erase from my memory, it's definitely Arthro. Like, nobody took it seriously. Previously people thought that the man package was bad, and comparing it to this, I think the beautiful man face was a blessing. But you can guess how heavily it shifted avatar trends, and not in a good way. This, just like today, was only worn for the purpose of trolling, making meme avatars and attention seeking, for which many people also blamed Flamingo, but yeah. Considering that some Arthro packages were free, you can guess that the majority of the free-to-play users thought that it would be a good option to use them, and not to look cool or anything, but to make awful meme avatars and be annoying. And thankfully the noob style has kept its origin, but as the newer and newer default characters and free Arthro packages were being added, it was really hard to keep track, and people were also stopping to use the word noob to describe unexperienced players. And now for 2019, I would rather not talk about whatever the Arthro style is, but on the other hand, a lot of the existing styles did the same thing that Roblox's logo did, meaning switching from the colorful and bright colors to, yeah, this. And with this change, a style like Badass appeared, and many more switched to something that we've already seen today. And for the last piece of the iceberg, this is going to be the least positive part of this video. 2020. This is the year of copy-paste, slender, stitch faces, headless and core blocks. And I really don't believe this needs an introduction. But overall this style is the style that most of you probably dislike, and from my own experience the stereotypes following it are mostly true. And this one is not only the outer aspect. Previously I said that the Scully Girl was the beginning of something awful, and yeah, here it is, the copy and paste. This is a style that directly inherited aspects from the ancestor and somehow made them even worse. Maybe it's because of a certain game that was released in 2019, but I don't really want to speculate. Now the CNP and the Slender styles got their reputation for a reason. People wearing outfits like this were usually toxic, edgy, blasted loud and bypassed music in boomboxes before they were removed, and they were always, and I mean always, in a group of other copy and paste and Slenders. Like seeing only one copy and paste in a server was like seeing a falling star. And you don't even know how many times I had to switch servers on MM2 because I didn't want to deal with a group of 12-year-olds basically just flaming me for playing the game or permanently losing 2 decibels in both of my ears. But like I mentioned, this was the most hated style on the platform. And you know what's even worse? You can imagine that all of the people with the 24X, II, Broken Dreams and NXs in their names would just stop at the copy and paste style, right? Unfortunately, no. Throughout the years to the present day, there were more styles that derived from it. And it was styles like Buddy, Raw Gangster, Raw Banger, Grunge, R6 Core, different styles of Emo, Goth and Hyperbeast, Y2K, Dahudian and my personal favorite, Roadkill, which isn't an official style, but I just call it that because it, well, looks like a roadkill. And following all of that, the different styles that were also appearing on the platform were Evade, Pick Me, Preppy, Softy, Nice Girl, and hold on a minute. Wedgiecore, Shackcore, Pixiecore, Kawaiicore, Cottagecore, Webcore, Weirdcore, Indocore. Bro, what is this? This is just like a random word followed by core. So should like all of the other styles just be renamed to like Richcore, Coolcore, Slendercore and so on? Hold on, I'm reading more into this. This is a TikTok thing, right? On this app the suffix core is frequently used as a modifier to describe a type of aesthetic. If they are big into frogs, it's called frogcore. Oh my god. I feel like I'm just too old for this. So anyways, you can see that there is a lot, right? And this was just all the new styles, but there were also changes to the previous ones, like the classic style which was magically resurrected because of the classic event, and the fact that there were still diehard fans that refused to let it go. And no wonder, because it's pretty cool. But now let me just mention something that happened in 2022, which was the release of layered clothing, which again made a drastic shift in commonly found trends. And you know what something else did? The UGC program, which was made available for everyone this year. And following that, there were sites like the cartoony outline, the rainbow gradient, and so on. Not to mention trends with all of the meme avatars, or avatars that made your body invisible, or even the ones that covered the whole game with 3D clothing glitches. And now I really don't know where to put avatars like this one, or maybe even that. This is definitely a trend among the meme avatar styles, but it doesn't really seem to have the same premise. So I guess I would just put it in the disturbing style, or maybe uncanny style. And overall, with the UGC program being what it is right now, meaning a whole copyright mess and a lawsuit waiting to happen, there is a huge selection of assets for people to create avatars in styles like anime, characters from franchises, memes, rich kid wannabes, or something awful that I didn't mention yet in this video, which is the R63. This style is particularly bad because that content is highly suggestive and sexualized. And I don't think I need to mention that Roblox's main demographic is kids, and I mean, I'm 23 myself and I wouldn't want to see a Roblox Gunner avatar in my game also. But anyways, so nowadays you can see that there are trends after trends happening, and it's really hard to keep track and categorize everything. It was easier for me to look for information from almost 20 years ago than to research anything from now. That's how big of a mess it is. And also, if I missed anything, then please comment down below. I will probably make a pinned comment with all of the information. And that's also going to mark the end of this video. So as usual, leave a like and subscribe to support the channel, also check out my Patreon page, but that's going to be everything for today. So thank you guys for watching, hope everyone had a nice day and see ya guys.